cold today, or chilly I should say for some folks. It's like 39 degrees this morning. Now it's like in the 40s, but it's fall, getting ready for leaf season, and then into winter. We'll see what kind of winter we'll have. Last year we had a very mild winter with zero accumulation, so I'm guessing we're due this year, which would be good for business a little bit. But I initially got this ramp rack right here. I got this set up because I wanted to grow my business, and I looked into what's the easiest way, the most productive, profitable, efficient way to have a dedicated mowing setup, lawn maintenance focused, not having to pull a trailer around, doing different landscaping things. That's kind of its own separate entity that I choose to set my business up in that way. But for mowing, mowing, fertilizing, all that kind of, aerating, seeding, all of the lawn maintenance, I wanted a dedicated setup just for that. The Isuzu MPRs, cab overs, box truck, open landscape body style, all that whole category there is kind of a common theme, or becoming more of a common theme, I should say, across the country. Certain areas in the country, it is a common theme, and businesses have been doing that for years now. $1 million businesses typically have those kind of setups, and I've seen a lot of them. There's not a lot of that setup, there's not a lot of those in my particular area, just like there weren't a lot of these until I started driving around with one. So I've connected with a lot of peers and mentors over the years through social media, went to some shops like Marvin Salcedo with Salcedo Lawns over in Tyler, Texas. Go ahead and check that video out at the end of this video. I'll put the card there. Great guy, great business, continually growing past $1 million and beyond. His goal is, he's got some super high goals, but he's all about those, Isuzu, NPR, landscape body setups. He's got a whole bunch of them. I don't remember the exact numbers, like 4 or 5. I believe he's, just keeps getting more and more since the last time I saw him. But a common theme with the $1 million lawn care companies, the $1 million and plus lawn care companies have those kind of dedicated rigs. They don't just have a bunch of trucks pulling a bunch of trailers. They have dedicated mowing rigs. Now they have dump trailers and open trailers for all their landscaping needs, as well as dump trucks and so on. But for just mowing, you want to be as efficient as possible. You don't want to be pulling your entire shop around with you all day, every day just to mow lawns. But for me, I felt like, spending $40,000 plus for one of those rigs, just at the point of my business and where I see my business going, just didn't make the most sense for me. But this did. This has been out, the ramp rack has been out for a few years now. It's been updated and refined and made better and better over the years. And now I feel like this is the best version of it. We'll say maybe the 3.0 version. I don't remember, maybe it's the 2.0 version. I know it's completely different than the first version that we saw at the GIE Plus Expo and some videos on YouTube. But I remember it definitely struck me, and more so recently when I was thinking about everything I just mentioned about growing my business, having a dedicated mowing rig, not wanting to invest the $40,000 plus in a specific truck just for that, versus having a truck like this that I already have that I can just add on to it, and like I'm doing now, I can take off of, so that I can move on to different services, use the truck for different things. If I want to plow with this truck, I don't want this on it necessarily while I'm plowing. And it's not the most practical to use one of those cab over trucks to plow with. It's just more for hauling stuff, and that's really it. It's not really made the best for towing or pushing or anything like that. It's just made for hauling. Box truck, open body style, whatever it is, that's really its main purpose. So you can be compact and efficient. So I want to take this off because it's the end of the mowing season, or coming to the end of the mowing season, and we're transitioning into leaf season. So it's too many properties now that we have to get on top of with leaf cleanups in addition to mowing, that this just isn't an efficient setup anymore, because I need to put the bagger system on my 48 grandstand, and then my new multi-force grandstand, I have to put the blower attachment on the front of that, and that stuff just won't fit in here. It's, it'll be too long to fit with the blower attachment, and it's not wide enough to fit the baggers on the side of the grandstand there, which is fine. That was always the plan. And I need the truck bed for leaves, so we can start cleaning up leaves. I'm going to take this off. One of the features of the newest updated version of the ramp rack is it's a quick detach system. You can just unhook it all and just drop it where you want to keep it over the winter, and it just sits there like a plow over the summer. So, and then I'll put my tailgate back on, put my hitch on, and then I'll go ahead and hook back up to my trailer, and I'll be ready to rock and roll for the remainder of the season into the spring before mowing starts, when we start putting mulch in here and spreading mulch. Could put all my wheelbarrows and my cart mate in the front of my grandstand, all that, put all that in my trailer because it'll all fit real nice. Pull that, get mulch, unhook the trailer, go knock out these mulch jobs as we work our way up and down the street where we're at, different properties, hook back up to the trailer, move on to the next neighborhood, and so on. Same thing a lot of guys do when they're dumping stuff at the dump and so on and so forth. There's just only so much you can combine and change and make as efficient as possible. So for certain things, you still have to pull a trailer because there's just only so much you can put on and in your truck, whether you have a dump truck or whatever. So when you're trying to combine some things, that's where the trailer still comes in handy, and that's why I kept it. Normally it's for extra storage over the summer. Now it's going to be back in action for the fall, winter, and early spring to get through mulch season. Then I'll be unhooking the trailer, putting the ramp rack back on to start the mowing season. So this had everything but grass in it, right? It had dirt from all the aerating and seeding, cores, broke down over time, seed, fertilizer, like all that stuff. So I just blew all this out. I blew it all out of here, and it was kind of all scattered around here, and I went and just blew it all that way through the fence so I can clean my area, respect my storage. I'm not gonna leave a big mess. I'm gonna clean up after myself. And fortunately, one of the many reasons why I wanted to be on the side like this, not only so that I can have all of this to myself, dumpsters down there, have all this to myself for the most part. I mean, this is the only parking spot. This is not allowed to be parked on anymore. So it's basically all to myself. And then this corner down here, someone's got a spot down there. So it kind of, this whole area here I can utilize for a workspace. I can only really park my trailer here. You know, I can't park a whole bunch of stuff here because it's just one small space, but everything else I'm able to kind of have a workspace like this. And whenever I have dirt and debris and stuff to clean out of my trailer, my truck, or whatever, I can just blow it through the fence there into the woods. So all this now has to go in here. So everything fits with a little bit of room to spare, right? I mean, you use whatever you can, right? Okay, probably put my spreader there. This isn't the ideal situation here. I wanted this space along here for both of the mowers. The 30-inch would have to be up further where there's more room in between the 48 and the wall. Between the 52 and the wall wouldn't be enough for the 30, only the 22. Once I can get through this fertilizer, or I might even just move this into storage, into my storage unit, just to get rid of that space. But if I can get these knocked out in the next couple of days, weather permitting, all this rain is crazy, but weather permitting, I can get through these, and then I'll have that space clear. And then when I get my next round of fertilizer, I'll just put that right in storage. I just hate moving stuff back and forth. These are 50-pound bags, however many bags there are. It's hundreds of pounds there. You know, I've moved them from my truck bed to here, and then if I'm moving them to storage, like I really try to be as efficient as possible and not do triple work. So I'd rather just pull the trailer, you know, put the spreader in here, pull the trailer, knock these down, and then be done with it and start fresh in storage with the next batch. I'm not going to put any trimmers in on these racks here. It'll just be easier to get to them for everyone to get to them on the truck bed. I'm going to keep those racks up on there. I won't be putting sides up until mulch season, and we'll see how that goes. There might be something new coming with that, but I still have the wood sides that I can put on the side of my truck for mulch if I need to. But in the meantime, through leaf season and finishing the mowing season, I'm not going to bother putting the trimmers in here. Yes, I can just keep them in here. I don't have to worry about loading and unloading, but I'd rather them be more easily accessible on the outside, like an open trailer of my truck bed, for the guys and myself to just quickly grab, and not have to worry about climbing all over everything to get to them if we're just, you know, trying to trim something or edge something, and we don't have to unload all these mowers just to get to stuff. So the first step is to lower the gate, and then you have to anchor the gate by taking this off of here, swinging it down here and attaching it to both sides, and then that keeps this anchored. It keeps this in place so it doesn't fold up. And then we're gonna lower this jack down, and it acts as a tripod. So this is balancing the top part, and then the ramp itself has basically two different legs over there, so it acts as a tripod so they can be freestanding. And then you detach it from here on both sides, then you take the pin out from underneath there, and then you're good to go. Obviously take that hitch out so you can hook up your trailer hitch, and then you're good to go to hook up your trailer again. You gotta remember to take your license plate off of there and put that back on the back of your truck. Just like that. Now you lower this. Take these off. This one took some doing getting out of there. I had to lower the jack more. You know, I've only done this once, so I had to remember exactly what, but you got to play around with the tension, different things here and there. So I lowered the jack to kind of raise this up more to try and release some of this pressure here so that I could kind of pull this out. I had to wiggle it out to get it out, but it's been in there for a while, so you know, maybe put a little bit of grease on it before you stick it in there might help. And because that one was tougher, this one's easier because we already released that pressure, so it just comes right out. So after you've played around with the jack enough to get enough leverage to pull that pin out, which is not easy, but you got to find the right balance. You know, you definitely gotta, he told me that getting it out takes a little bit of working it out. It's not going to be smooth, it's going to be tight, because you want that nice tight secure connection. All this weight and everything, you want the right pressure to keep everything attached and safe. So you got to really work on it, wiggle it, get it out, and then it's free. And you keep raising, then you keep lowering the jack some more so that this breaks free and over there breaks free, and you just drive right on out. And now it's just freestanding, just like I said. Just have to take the hitch off. Just like that. That's dirty nasty. And you just put the tailgate back on. That's a wrap. And if I were to keep growing, if I wanted to get to $1 million company, this would be my setup. I would have multiple trucks set up just like this to become $1 million lawn care company.